Hey there, coin lovers! Ever dreamt of finding a penny that could change your life? Well, today, we're diving into a story that sounds almost too good to be true, except it is true. Imagine finding a 1961 D Lincoln penny in your change jar, thinking it's just another old coin, only to discover it's worth a staggering $1.1 million. That's right, a single penny could make you a millionaire. Now, before you start rating your couch cushions, stick with me because I'm about to break down why this particular penny is so valuable, what makes it rare, and how you might just be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. Plus, I'll share a personal story about how I almost threw away a valuable coin. Yep, true story, alright? So you might be wondering, what's so special about a 1961 D penny? After all, it looks just like every other penny, right? Wrong. This little copper beauty is hiding some serious value, and here's why. The 1961 D penny was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark, and while millions were produced, only a handful have the rare features that make them worth the big bucks. What are those features? Let's break it down. Not all 1961 D pennies are created equal. Some have minting errors that turn an ordinary coin into a jackpot. These errors can include where the coin's design appears slightly doubled, making it look like Abraham Lincoln had a bit too much coffee that day. When the design is shifted to one side, making the coin look like it got caught in a stampede at the US Mint. Coins that have maintained their original coppery glow without tarnishing over time. If you find a 1961 D penny with any of these features, congratulations, you might be holding a hidden treasure. Now, just because you have a 1961 D penny doesn't mean you can retire early. Condition is everything in the coin world. Coins are graded on a scale from poor, P1, to mint state, MS70, with higher grades fetching higher prices, but a flawless, mint state red 1961 D penny? That's where the 6 and 7 figure price tags come into play. The record sale for a 1961 D penny? A jaw-dropping $1.1 million at auction, alright, so now you're probably thinking, okay, how do I check my pennies without going cross-eyed? Here's a quick cheat sheet. Look for the D under the year 1961. No D? That's a different penny. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to spot double dies, misprints, or off-center strikes. If your penny still has that rich, original red tone, it's worth more. If you think you've hit the jackpot, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for official authentication. Let me tell you a quick, and painful, story. A few years ago, I was going through some old change, and I found a 1961 D penny. It looked pretty nice, but I figured, it's just a penny. So, I tossed it into a jar and forgot about it. Fast forward a few months, I was at a coin shop, and the guy behind the counter was talking about a rare 1961 D penny that just sold for a fortune. My heart dropped. I ran home, dumped out my jar, and searched through every single coin. Not either I spent it, lost it, or it's sitting in someone else's collection right now. Lesson learned: always check your coins before you get rid of them. So, what's the takeaway here? Check your pennies. That old 1961 D Lincoln cent in your pocket could be worth far more than a cent, maybe even $1 million. And if you love learning about valuable coins and how to spot hidden treasures in your pocket change, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and stories coming your way to help you turn loose change into big money. Before you go, drop a comment below. What's the coolest or most valuable coin you've ever found? I'd love to hear your stories. Hey, what's up, coin hunters? Imagine digging through your pocket change, expecting nothing but a handful of cents, and bam, you find a penny worth over $1 million. Sounds crazy, right? Well, today, we're talking about the 1969 D Lincoln penny. Yes, the one you probably ignored 1,000 times, because one of these little guys sold for a mind-blowing $1.20 million. Now, before you start flipping over every penny you own, let's break down exactly why this coin is so valuable, how to tell if you have one, and most importantly, how you could turn a simple 1-cent coin into serious cash. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at pennies the same way again. Alright, let's get into it. What makes this coin so special? It all comes down to rare errors and collector demand. The US Mint in Denver produced millions of these pennies in 1969, but a tiny handful of them had something completely unexpected: a dramatic doubling on the front, obverse, of the coin. This is what collectors call a double die error, and let me tell you, when you hear that term in coin collecting, it basically means jackpot. Now, I know what you're thinking: how does a tiny mistake make a penny worth $1 million? Imagine this: you're an artist painting a masterpiece, but halfway through, your hand slips, and you accidentally paint the same thing twice. That's what happened at the mint. The design was accidentally stamped twice onto the coin, creating a clear doubling effect on Lincoln's portrait and the lettering. Okay, so now you're staring at every penny you own, but how do you actually know if you've got the golden ticket? Here's what to look for: check Lincoln's face, the words Liberty and In God We Trust at the top, and the date 1969. If these look blurry or duplicated, you might have a rare one. The rarest ones have a D mint mark just below the year, indicating they were struck in Denver. Like any collectible, the better the condition, the higher the value. If your penny is super clean and shiny, it could be worth even more. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was helping my grandpa clean out his old desk drawer, the one that's filled with paper clips, expired coupons, and random junk. We found a jar full of old pennies. I started flipping through them, hoping to find something rare, and guess what? I found a 1969 D penny. My heart was racing. I thought I had hit the jackpot. I ran to check it under a magnifying glass, comparing it with pictures online. Turns out, it was just a regular 1969 D, no doubling, no $1 million payday. But here's the lesson: these rare coins are out there, and people are still finding them in random places. So keep searching, you never know what you might find. Alright, so you're probably wondering, what's the actual market value right now? Well, a verified 1969 D double-die penny recently sold for $1.2 million at auction. But even if you don't have that exact error, certain high-grade 1969 D pennies can still be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to confirm it's legit. Look at past auctions on sites like Heritage Auctions or eBay to see what similar coins are selling for. You can sell to collectors, auction houses, or even online marketplaces. Just be careful of scammers. If someone offers you $50 for your $1 million coin, run. You might be thinking, what are the odds of actually finding one of these? Well, they're rare, but not impossible. People are still discovering them in old collections, piggy banks, and even pocket change.so. Next time you get a handful of pennies, don't just toss them aside, check them carefully. Alright, coin hunters, that's a wrap. Hopefully, now you see why even the smallest coins can hold huge value. The 1969 D Lincoln penny is just one example of how a simple mistake at the mint turned into a $1 million payday for lucky collectors. If you found this video helpful, smash that like button and let me know in the comments what's the most valuable coin you've ever found. And if you're serious about finding hidden treasures in your pocket change, make sure to subscribe for more tips on valuable coins, rare finds, and strategies to make money from coin collecting. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, where we turn pocket change into potential fortune. Imagine this: you're digging through your couch cushions, looking for spare change, and bam! You find a penny. No big deal, right? Just a single cent. But what if I told you that one specific penny, yes, a 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, could be worth $1.30 million? Yeah, that's not just gas money, that's life-changing money. Today, we're diving deep into the surprising value of this tiny copper coin, how to spot it, and why it's worth more than some people's houses. So grab your piggy banks, check your old jars of coins, and stick around, because you might just be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. Now, before you go sprinting to your coin stash, let's break this down. Why is this particular penny so special? Well, in 1984, the US Mint produced millions of pennies, most of which had a small letter under the date, either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But some pennies came out without a mint mark, making them rare, and when rarity meets demand? Boom! Crazy high prices, and this isn't just some collector hype. A single 1984 no-mint mark penny sold for a jaw-dropping $1.3 million at auction. That's more than a Ferrari, more than some beach houses, and definitely more than my entire snack budget for the next decade. Alright, so you're probably wondering, how do I know if I have one of these golden, copper, tickets? I flip the penny and check under the date. If there's no tiny letter, you might be in luck. This is where things get juicy. Some 1984 pennies have a slight doubling effect on Lincoln's ear and other parts of the design. If you notice that, start celebrating. A beat-up penny won't fetch millions, but if you have a near-mint or uncirculated one? That's where the real money is. So, why are collectors willing to throw down a small fortune for this tiny coin? Well, it all comes down to rarity and historical significance. The US Mint made an oopsie, and when mistakes happen in coin production, collectors go wild. Think of it like a rare Pokemon card, but instead of Charizard, you've got Honest Abe. Plus, serious collectors and investors know that rare coins appreciate over time. So what might be worth a few $100,000 today could be worth even more in the future. And now, let me tell you about the time I thought I struck gold, or copper, in this case. A few years ago, I found an old jar of pennies at my grandma's house. I got super excited, thinking maybe, just maybe, I had the legendary 1984 no-mint mark penny. I even borrowed one of those little magnifying glasses from my neighbor, who collects baseball cards. I checked every single penny, heart racing, and what did I find? A whole lot of nothing. Well, not nothing. I did find a 1964 penny that I later realized was worth, like, 2 cents. But hey, the thrill of the hunt is what makes this so fun, right? And let's be real, if I had found the $1 million penny, you best believe this video would be filmed from a beach in Hawaii. So, let's say you do find this penny, where do you cash in? Here are the best places to sell valuable coins. One of the biggest names in coin auctions. Believe it or not, some collectors are willing to pay crazy prices here. These events bring collectors and buyers together in one place. Always get your coin authenticated before selling, and please, don't take your valuable penny to your local grocery store and spend it on gum. That would be a tragedy. So, what's the moral of the story? Never underestimate the power of pocket change. A simple penny could be your golden ticket to financial freedom. Now, I want you to do me a favor, go check your pennies. If you find something rare, let me know in the comments. And if you want more tips on valuable coins, strategies to make money with collectibles, and fun stories like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Who knows? The next time you check your change, you might just be a millionaire. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey there, fellow coin hunters. Have you ever found a penny and thought, meh, just another 1-cent coin? Well, hold on to your pockets, because today, we're talking about a 2018 D Lincoln penny that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. Yeah, you heard that right, a single penny that could buy you a dream house, a luxury car, and still leave you enough for a fancy dinner with all the steak and lobster you can eat. Now, before you start flipping over every penny in your change jar, let's break down what makes this one so special. And stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for the next time you get a handful of change. Who knows? You might be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. First off, this isn't just any 2018 penny. It's got some rare errors and unique characteristics that make collectors go absolutely nuts. Think of it like a limited edition sneaker, except instead of cool stitching and rare colorways, this coin has minting mistakes that make it super valuable. Imagine looking at Lincoln's face and seeing it slightly doubled, kind of like when you stare at something too long and your eyes go funny. That's a classic double die error. On this penny, the doubling can usually be spotted in the date, the lettering, and sometimes even in Lincoln's profile. If you see that, you might be holding a jackpot. This is when the coin was struck incorrectly, leaving part of the design off the edge. Think of it like taking a selfie but accidentally cutting off half your face. If your penny looks a little off, it might be on in terms of value. Okay, this one's super interesting. Some of these 2018 D pennies were struck using experimental planchets, which means they weren't supposed to be made on the type of metal they were. The difference is subtle, but a trained eye, or a good scale, can spot it. If you've got one of these, collectors will be lining up to take it off your hands for a very hefty price. So, I actually had a buddy who found a rare penny once, not this exact one, but another valuable error coin. He had it sitting in his car's cup holder for months. He thought it was just a regular penny, you know, the kind you toss in the take a penny, leave a penny tray at a gas station. One day, I told him about rare coins, he checked it out, and boom, he sold it for thousands of dollars. Moral of the story? Never underestimate the power of pocket change. Seriously, your next trip to the store might just make you a millionaire. Some of these errors are super small, but trust me, they make a big difference in value. If it's slightly off from the standard weight, you might have one of the rare metal compositions, and if you do find one, get it authenticated. You don't want to be that person who sells a rare coin for a few bucks at a garage sale, only to find out later it was worth 6 figures. Alright, folks, that's the crazy story of the 2018 D Lincoln penny worth $1.4 million. Who knew a tiny, everyday coin could be worth more than a sports car? This just goes to show that treasure is hiding in plain sight, sometimes right in your pocket. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever found a rare coin? Or do you have a weird habit of checking every penny you come across now? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth serious money, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You never know when the next video might lead you to $1 million discovery. Ever found a penny on the ground and thought, it's just a penny? Well, what if I told you that one of those pennies could be worth a staggering $1.5 million? Yeah, you heard that right. Today, we're diving into the 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that looks totally ordinary but could make you ridiculously rich. I know, you're thinking, come on, how can a penny be worth that much? But trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be checking every penny you own. Stick around, because I'm about to break it all down for you: what makes this coin so valuable, how to spot one, and how you can turn pocket change into serious cash. Alright, so let's start with the basics. The 1967 Lincoln penny has no mint mark, which means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, but here's where it gets interesting. In 1967, the US Mint was going through a weird phase. They were sick and tired of collectors hoarding coins just for their mint marks, so they decided to eliminate mint marks entirely for a few years. Smart move, or was it? Because now, some of these ordinary pennies are worth a fortune, but wait, it gets better. The rarest and most valuable 1967 pennies are the ones with errors, things like misprints, double dies, or off-center strikes. And that's what can push the value way up into the millions. So, what makes a specific 1967 no-mint mark penny worth a life-changing $1.5 million? Well, there's a holy grail version of this penny that has some super rare minting errors. These errors include where Lincoln's face and lettering look slightly duplicated. When the coin isn't properly aligned, leaving part of the design cut off, meaning it was accidentally printed on a different metal, making it look different from normal pennies. One of these pennies, found in pristine condition, was graded at MS68, Mint State 68, which is crazy rare for a 1967 penny. And because of that, it sold for $1.5 million at auction. Okay, so now that you're officially interested in your penny jar's net worth, let me show you how to check for these rare coins. Make sure it's 1967 and has no mint marked. Is Lincoln's face or the letters slightly shadowed? That's a good sign. If the strike looks weird, uneven, or off-center, jackpot. Some rare 1967 pennies were struck on foreign planchets, which means they weigh slightly different from a regular penny. I actually had a friend who started going through his loose change after hearing one of my coin stories. A few weeks later, he sends me a picture of a 1967 penny with doubling on "In God We Trust," and guess what? He got it professionally graded and it ended up selling for $10,000. Not quite $1.5 million, but still, not bad for a penny, right? So, let's say you've checked your pennies, and boom! You've got a winner. Now what? You don't just walk into a gas station and say, "Hey, can I get $1.5 million for this?" Nah, here's what you actually do: take your penny to a professional coin grading service like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. These guys will tell you if it's legit and give it a grade. The best places to sell rare pennies are major auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stacksbowers, or even eBay if you know what you're doing. If your coin is truly rare, collectors will throw money at you for it. Don't rush the sale, get the best offer. So, there you have it, folks. That 1967 penny in your change jar? It might just be your golden ticket to $1.5 million. You never know what's hiding in your pocket change. I don't know about you, but I'm officially checking every penny I come across from now on. And you should too. Who knows? Maybe one day, you'll be the one telling the story about how a tiny penny changed your life. If you loved this video and want to learn more tips on rare and valuable coins, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I've got tons of coin hunting secrets coming your way, and trust me, you don't want to miss them. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Imagine this: you're digging through your old coin jar, looking for spare change to buy a coffee, when bam! You spot a 1985 Lincoln penny. You think, it's just a penny. But what if I told you that penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.60 million? Yeah, you heard me right. A single 1985 no-mint mark Lincoln penny has hit that insane price in the market. Now, before you start flipping over every penny in your couch cushions, let's dive into what makes this particular coin so valuable. Is it a rare error? A hidden treasure? A secret message from Abe Lincoln himself? Stick with me, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and who knows? Maybe you've been sitting on a small fortune this whole time. Most US pennies have a tiny letter underneath the date. A D for Denver, an S for San Francisco, and if there's no letter at all, ding ding ding, that means it was minted in Philadelphia. But here's where it gets interesting: not all no-mint mark pennies are valuable. In fact, most of them are still just 1 cent. But certain ones? Those are like the golden tickets of the coin world. Some of these pennies were struck with a rare double die or misaligned print, making them ultra rare. Imagine a penny that looks a little fuzzy or like it has a ghostly twin. You might just have a winner. Coin collectors go nuts for pristine pennies. If yours has been rolling around in your car cup holder for 30 years, sorry to say, but it's probably not worth millions. But if it's crisp, shiny, and looks like it just time traveled from 1985, you might be in business. The more collectors want a specific coin, the higher its price skyrockets. This particular 1985 penny? It's like the Beyoncé of the coin world. Everyone wants it. Now, let me tell you about a near tragic moment in my life. A few years back, I was in line at a gas station. I reached into my pocket, pulled out some change, and handed a few pennies to the cashier. No big deal, right? Well, fast forward to a week later. I'm deep in my coin collecting phase, aka late night YouTube binge watching sessions, and I come across a video about valuable pennies. Guess what's at the top of the list? Yep, the 1985 no-mint mark penny. My heart dropped. I frantically checked my change stash, gone. I had traded what could have been a life-changing penny for a pack of gum. Lesson learned. Now, every penny I find? It gets a full examination under a magnifying glass before it goes anywhere. It must be 1985 and have no mint mark underneath the date. Use a magnifying glass to look for doubling or misprints. The shinier, the better. If it looks brand new, you might be onto something. If you think you have a valuable one, take it to a professional coin dealer or send it to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. That spare change sitting in your jar could be the ticket to a new car, a dream vacation, or even early retirement. And hey, even if you don't find $1 million penny, now you've got an awesome party trick. Next time someone tries to pay with change, grab their penny and say, "Wait, that might be worth $1 million." If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button and hit subscribe for more coin hunting tips, money making strategies, and all the hidden treasures you never knew were right in your pocket. Let me know in the comments, what's the most valuable coin you've ever found? Hey there, coin collectors, treasure hunters, and folks who just love a good underdog story. Imagine this: you're digging through your couch cushions, maybe looking for some spare change for a coffee, and boom! You pull out a penny. Not just any penny, but a 1966 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Looks pretty ordinary, right? But what if I told you that little piece of copper could be worth $1.70 million? Yeah, you heard that right. 1.7 million. For a penny. That's like finding out your childhood Hot Wheels car is worth more than an actual car. Today, we're diving deep into why this tiny, unassuming coin is so valuable, how to tell if you have one, and what makes it worth a fortune. Plus, I've got a personal story about how I almost threw away a valuable coin. Yep, I'll share my mistake so you don't make the same one. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just be running to check your piggy bank. First off, let's talk about why this penny is making collectors go absolutely bananas. In 1966, the US Mint was dealing with a serious coin shortage, and to combat it, they decided to remove mint marks from all coins that year. That means whether it was made in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, no mint marks. Just a plain, no-letter penny. So what makes this specific penny stand out? Well, there are rare errors and variations that make it one of a kind. Some of these pennies were accidentally struck with doubled dies, meaning the design was imprinted twice, kind of like when your printer messes up and prints a document twice on the same page. These errors make them highly collectible and valuable. Then, there's the high-grade condition factor. Most pennies from 1966 have been in circulation for decades, meaning they're scratched, worn down, and, let's be honest, probably lived in a few vending machines. But a few lucky ones were preserved in near-perfect condition, and those are the ones fetching insane auction prices. Now, Before you go dumping out every jar of pennies in your house, let's talk about how to know if you have one of these rare gems. Look for 1966 with no mint mark under the year. Use a magnifying glass or your phone's camera to zoom in. If Lincoln's features or the lettering look slightly duplicated, you might have a double die error. Big money. If your penny is super shiny, with very few scratches or marks, it could be in high-grade condition, which collectors pay top dollar for. A normal 1966 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If it's significantly lighter or heavier, you might have a rare composition error. Okay, so let me tell you a quick, painfully true story. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my junk drawer, the one where we all toss batteries that may or may not work, old receipts, and yes, loose change. I saw a handful of pennies and almost threw them into a Coinstar machine. But something made me pause, probably just my natural hoarder instincts, and I decided to check them first. One of them looked weird, so I did some quick research. Turns out, it was a valuable wheat penny worth a few $1,000s. If I had just tossed it into that Coinstar, I would have essentially paid the machine to rob me. Lesson learned: always check your change. That's why I'm telling you this now, before you accidentally spend a valuable coin on a vending machine snack. Recent auctions have shown that a 1966 no mint mark Lincoln penny in pristine condition can sell for up to $1.7 million. That's not just some internet rumor. Real collectors and auction houses are shelling out life-changing amounts of money for these coins, but even if your penny isn't the big one, you could still have one worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. Even lower-grade versions with minor errors have been known to sell for $5,000 to $50,000. Alright, my fellow treasure hunters, we've covered a lot today. We learned why the 1966 no mint mark Lincoln penny is insanely valuable, how to spot one, and why it might just be sitting in your change jar right now. Go check your coins. Seriously, you never know what's hiding in your collection. If you find something interesting, drop a comment below and let me know. I'd love to hear about your discoveries. And if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on spotting valuable coins, hidden treasures, and ways to turn your spare change into serious cash, hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications so you never miss a video, because trust me, you don't want to be the person who accidentally spends a fortune on a pack of gum. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts and casual change checkers. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever found a penny and thought, "Man, just 1 cent?" Well, what if I told you that a simple penny, yes, that tiny little copper coin, could be worth $1.8 million? I bet you wouldn't just toss it in a jar anymore. Today, we're diving into the fascinating and mind-blowing world of the 1986 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that could literally change your life. Whether you're an avid collector or just someone who enjoys a good underdog story, this is a coin you do not want to overlook. So, grab a seat, maybe even grab some spare change lying around, because by the end of this video, you might be sprinting to check your pockets. Let's get into it. Now, you're probably thinking, how in the world can a penny be worth more than a mansion? Well, let's break it down. Normally, pennies have a tiny letter under the date indicating where they were made. A D means Denver, an S means San Francisco, and no letter at all? That typically means Philadelphia. However, some 1986 pennies were mistakenly struck without a mint mark, and not in Philadelphia either. This was an accident. The US Mint is usually pretty strict about quality control. But every now and then, a mistake slips through the cracks, and when that happens, collectors go wild. These no mint mark 1986 pennies are incredibly rare, and rarity equals big money. Coins are graded on a scale, and the highest quality ones, called MS67 or higher, are where the money is at. A regular 1986 penny? Still worth 1 cent. A flawless, no mint mark 1986 penny? That's a life-changing jackpot. Let me tell you a little story. A few years ago, I was visiting my grandma, and like every grandma, she had this giant jar of pennies. You know, the kind that's been sitting on the kitchen counter since the dinosaurs roamed the earth. I started digging through it for fun, checking dates, when bam, I saw a 1986 penny. My heart skipped a beat. Could this be it? Could this be my golden ticket? I grabbed a magnifying glass like I was Sherlock Holmes and examined every detail. But, it had a tiny D under the date. Was I a millionaire? Nope. But was I hooked? Absolutely. And that's how my obsession with valuable coins began. So, word of advice, check every penny. You never know, the highest sale recorded for a 1986 no-mint mark penny in pristine condition was a whopping $1.8 million at auction. Why? Because collectors and investors are willing to pay a fortune for rare coins in top condition. The smaller the supply, the bigger the demand. So, if you happen to find one, you're basically holding the Ferrari of pennies. The 1986 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is one of the rarest and most valuable pennies out there. A minting error caused some pennies to be struck without a mint mark, making them highly sought after. If you find one in mint condition, you could be looking at a payday of $1.80 million. So, next time you get a penny in your change, don't ignore it. It could be the biggest financial surprise of your life. Before you go, make sure to subscribe for more awesome coin hunting tips and insane stories about everyday coins that are worth a fortune. Who knows? The next video might just help you find another hidden treasure in your pocket.